Hey everyone, this is Jim Grisanzio from the Oracle Groundbreakers team, and I'm here with Connor McDonald. Connor, welcome.
Thank you very much, Jim. It's really good to be here. This is both the joy and the insanity of India with the traffic and the noise is awesome.
Absolutely. So we're hoping this actually sound comes through. We are in Ahmedabad, India. So first we were in Chennai, and then we were in Bangalore, and now Ahmedabad. I'm probably saying that a little bit wrong, but we're outside of we're outside of a convention center here. And we just figured we'd give you a flavor of the street here because, honestly, this is what it's like inside as well. There's a lot of energy going on with those guys in there. So, Connor, you're one of the speakers on this tour. This is a 10-city tour. Give me your sense so far about the tour. We're 3 cities down.
This is my 4th Yatra tour, and one of the joys of coming to India is every tour, even though we're generally the same cities, even the same venues, they're always different. And it's funny, this year one of the really cool things is we're seeing a much bigger influence of women in the conferences as speakers and attendees.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
Which is fantastic, but as a result we get a really different vibe and a different input as to what people are interested in, what really motivates people. But one of the great things of talking in India is it's not a passive audience. We don't get the audiences that we often get where I come from in Australia and sometimes in Europe. You might get one hand up at the end saying, oh, I have one question. Here, the moment you finish talking, you are swamped. And people have, this is my scenario, this is my problem, or this is how that's really going to help me. And so there's a real buzz, and it's good because it reduces the gap between speaker and attendee. It makes us feel that we're all in this together, we're all just trying to succeed.
And the questions go into detail. They go into detail. Some of these students are PhD students in there, and so they want details, So, okay, so give us also a sense of what you're actually talking about here, because you're doing a couple of talks, right?
I got a number of talks. Some are focused mainly at DBA, some at developers. Probably the talk I'm getting the best feedback on is I'm doing a talk on just hints and tips. And it's a bit of a weird concept. It's not a particular focused area, but the thing that motivated me to talk about it was I look after the Ask Tom website, and we had a question come in which I answered. And when they said, oh, how did you know the answers to that? I said, well, it's just a lot of experience, a lot of working in Oracle tech.
I remember this story.
Yeah, and they got really nasty. They said, well, that's a useless response, and they called me some terrible names, which I won't repeat on camera. But I realized that there's perhaps a degree of truth in that the world has come to this stage now, sometimes in the IT world, where people ask what might be deemed an innocent or a silly question, and the community unloads on them. Right. And I thought, that's not right. A community is about fostering especially new talent. So the hints and tips was my attempt to say, well, here's a list of things that I found really cool over, I hate to say it, nearly 30 years of Oracle IT, but why should other people have to reinvent those solutions? Why shouldn't I give them to them for free? It's I suppose the presenter's version of open source. Is like, give them some hints and tips because they'll take them, they'll hopefully benefit, but also they'll find new and exciting ways to work with those tips, and they'll feed that back to me, and we all grow.
Interesting. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about you now, okay, because you mentioned this is your 4th Yatra tour. That's insane. The schedule for this tour is utterly insane. So this is you've done it for 4 years running. So this is just my first. But you've obviously been to India a lot. Secondly, you travel a lot in general for your job. You're engaging developers around the world. Give me a sense of what it's like to engage so many different types of people first, and then we'll get into some more questions after that.
I have the best job in the world. It's as simple as that. Is the ability to go to actually various communities, whether they're Oracle specific or just IT in general, and it's something that I've always loved doing. Even when I was outside of IT, I used to travel as much as I could. I used to be a volleyball coach, so I do like enjoying talking to groups of people, especially where sometimes I might have the upper hand, and so that naturally flows into speaking at conferences. But one of the joys of being able to travel is developers have common goals, but totally different ways of achieving those goals. And sometimes developers are totally hamstrung in the organizations they're in. In other places around the world, they have total freedom, and they're the people that own the power in organizations. So
how do you adapt to all these changes?
Well, I think the thing that really matters whenever you're trying to inform and help people succeed is it's simple as honesty. One of the reasons I love reaching out to developers, or even just reaching out to customers in general, is it's so important to be honest with where our technology is, point out all the great things that I think about the Oracle database, otherwise I wouldn't be involved with Oracle for so long, but also point out the things where we haven't got things right maybe, or there is room for improvement, or we screwed up. I think that honesty convinces developers wherever they are and whatever their culture is, that there are people in the IT world, whether they're on the same side of the fence as them or from the corporate side of the fence, that just really want to help them succeed. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to say this is totally a philanthropic approach, but the reality is, as someone who works for Oracle, if we can help people succeed more with their Oracle software, then they'll probably buy more Oracle software. But I view that as win-win. It shouldn't have to be a competition. It's something that we can all succeed at.
It's got to be a two-way street, because when you come out here and you have conversations, it is a conversation. It goes both ways. And a lot of times these people have strong opinions because they're using the products, right? And they're, so it seems like actually whenever I see you speak, you are really into it. You are really into it. It seems like you really love actually interacting with people like this.
It's true. Maybe it's just an overinflated ego, but the first talk I ever gave on Oracle technology was in the late 90s, and it was one of those things where I was getting ready to move countries, and I thought I could safely do a talk, and if I screwed it up, well, I was moving to another country anyway, so they'd never see me again. But I gave this one talk and just fell in love with it. And so just the element of presenting I really enjoy, but then the reality is I've only been with Oracle Corporation for just on 4 years now, just a few years, but I've been working with the Oracle tech for 25 plus years. And so I hope to my audiences that's proof of the fact that I love the tech. I'm not someone who's like being paid to sell an Oracle message. I love the Oracle database, I love the Oracle technology, I've loved it for nearly 30 years. And I'm happy to try to convince people of that.
Well, incidentally, that's the most effective way of delivering a message anyway. So in terms of delivering a corporate message, if you're going to do that, that's the way you do it. Obviously, it's most effective that way.
Exactly. And I want to be totally honest with my audience. If they came to me and said, we're using Oracle technology for this, and they said, but we found perhaps a better solution, who am I to say, no, you have to, it's Oracle way or the highway? I don't believe in that. The reality is, if they can be successful, they'll be successful maybe with other platforms, but they'll also be successful with the Oracle platform because it's such a good platform. And
in every single enterprise, you got to use tools from dozens of companies and communities anyway.
Exactly, and that's the joy of IT. It changes constantly. One of my favorite acronyms is they say YAFIT, yet another front-end technology. Every day, every year, the next big thing is coming out. But look, you can see the heat. Look, I'm sweating.
No, it's at least 100 degrees for you Americans. It's about 40 or so.
40 for the Australians watching. It's 40 degrees.
Okay, so what's up next? So we're going to finish up here in a few hours. We got a few more hours to go, and then we can actually. So after that we go to the airport, and then where?
So literally most of the days we do in the Yatra tour are straight from the event to the airport. We jump on a plane. We normally land at the next city somewhere between 10 p.m. and midnight, and then some days we get a break the next day. Most days it's just straight back on the venue. The next one is Pune coming up, and then after that it's Hyderabad, and then 2 more cities. It's like the names I can't remember, or even if I could, I probably couldn't pronounce that well. And we finish off with, I think, Gurgaon, which is Delhi. So
I'm done after Hyderabad, so I'm doing 6 out of the 10. How many are you doing?
Similar. I can't do the whole lot this year simply because of child-minding commitments. When I get home, my children are keen to have their dad coach them at football. But other than that, normally I try to do all the cities in Yatra, but this year, as soon as I get home from Yatra, it's a couple of weeks break, and then off to South America for the South American developer tour.
Oh my God, that's incredible. I could never keep up with that.
I have to admit, it's like, that's why my eyes are glowing red. They generally don't adjust to any time zone, but I figured you're only young once. For me, that time has passed, but you only live once, and so it's good to see these developer communities all over the place.
Connor, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. We're going to go inside and cool off now and finish up with the rest of the day. It's Jim Grisanzio here in Ahmedabad on the street with Connor. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.